as the sun begins to set on Friday. I thought I'd quickly show you work in progress in my mother's garden. So yes, thanks to Fran Brooks and Miriam Zaccarelli, my very dear friends who have been helping me this week. This is what 3 women can do in 3 days. So I haven't really shown you any before pictures, but this is a sort of midway. Everything here was absolutely covered in ivy. We've reduced this rose by about half, but we need a lot more doing on that. That's next week's job. Big pile of rubbish here. Bin full, another bin full. Well, of course, thanks to Wiltshire Council, we've got to wait another week for it to be delivered. New fence. Big tree has gone. The big tree was up here and it was completely covering this beautiful Kansan cherry. Beds have been cleared. Now we have some light. I can actually probably plant them all up properly. The edging needs reseating and painting. The gravel needs redoing. The arbor needs redoing. The fence needs taking away, the strange rambling fence. I need to put trellis along the fence, and then finally when that's done we can grow something up the trellis. The pergola here is blow on it and it'll fall over, but again Fran did an amazing job. This was absolutely covered in honeysuckle and vines, but they've all gone. The vine has been properly pruned back, so hopefully we'll get a much better growth from that. The honeysuckle will come back. Honeysuckle's always like a good hard hacking every few years, you know, tell them who's boss, otherwise they just become a mass of dead twigs. All of this rubbish, please see all of the rubbish. Ton bag, IKEA bags, more bags, ton bags. This is, my father used to call it his Roman triconium, with a fountain with Etienne Arcadia Ego. All these little things like that and like these used to be attached to the fence, but they've all come down. This is where my mother said she wanted her ashes, as a joke. We may well put her there. I haven't decided yet. That's another decision to be made. This is my lovely mother's tent. Bright pink. She loved pink. It used to be painted in yellow and grey stripes, but she had it painted pink for her 70th birthday. This was her chair. She'd sit in that chair and tell us instruct us all, basically. Tell us what needed doing. So kind of everything from this garden was meant to be seen from that chair, really. This Chinese pavilion. This was another chair she liked to sit on, a little love seat. She'd sit there and look at her ponds. The pond was one of the first things that was built in our garden. This little oak, self-seeded, and she decided one day to lollipop it, so Miriam and I had fun giving that a nice little prune. So it's a little lollipop oak tree. One of my mother's many eccentricities. We're entering into the Japanese garden. There's all sorts of weird and wonderful things growing here. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. We need to get the leaf blower on it, but we've cut back all of the geraniums. The pond was absolutely packed full of water hyacinths. Ugh, sedge. I hate sedge. But anyway, we can't deal with that yet. I've just cut it back for now, and then I'll think about that. This is the bog garden. I'm hoping to get the sedge out and to plant it properly with proper bog garden plants. This is absolutely full of hostas. Obviously you can't see them now. And we don't get any problems because of course we've got ponds with frogs. I've just had a go at cloud pruning this today, so it's sort of getting a bit more Japanesey. It was just a big amorphous lump. The bamboo is just growing everywhere, so giving up. This is what I built when I was at college for my gold medal winning garden. It's a bit rotten unfortunately, and my Japanese steer scarer, which is also falling apart. I think the Chinese pavilion is in fairly good nick, but yeah, more work needs doing. Rockery, nothing left in there of any interest. All the rockery plants have gone, but before we think of planting that up, this huge lump has got to go because the fence is falling down. I don't know if you can see in the video, but that thing coming towards you is a falling down fence. My lovely friend Millie Carmichael, Mildred B on Facebook, had a go at hacking, but hopefully we've got a team of girls coming on Wednesday, about 6 of us, so we're going to be doing some really big jobs. So we've got to get these ton bags emptied, Then we get through to my mother's pride and joy, her rose garden. Beech hedge has been trimmed, looking a bit neater. One bag of manure, but obviously we're going to need several more than that. I've just given the roses a gentle prune for now. They're old-fashioned roses. They don't need hard pruning. They just need their tops taking off to prevent windrock. So one of the jobs for next week is to get all the beds cleared. The forget-me-nots my mother liked, she and I had a bit of a thing about this. I always wanted them up, she wanted them left, so we always had a battle of wills. So we managed to reach a compromise where the forget-me-nots weren't allowed to grow in the path, but they were allowed to go in the borders. Annoyingly, my mother was always right, because when they came up and there was a sea of blue underneath the roses, they looked lovely. This here is my famous love shack. This used to be my office when I lived with my parents, and there's a bed and a kitchen and a loo in there. And I courted my husband in there. Happy memories to my love shack. It's on my website. This is a treehouse, a Tudor treehouse built for my 21st birthday and my mother's, trying to work it out now, 60th? Yes, 60th. It was opened by Ronnie Barker. Don't believe me? I will show you a little poem he wrote for us. Hang on. There we go. It says, the Howards lived up in a tree in which they tip biscuits and tea. They sit in a house designed for a mouse. 'Tis lucky they number but 3. It's a snug little place, you'll agree, with a style most delightful to see. Happiest hours they spend, but they have to descend when they want to watch TV and pee. Ronnie Barker. Yes, my mother was an antique dealer, as many of you know, and she used to go and visit his shop, and they struck up a firm friendship. Under here is my sort of conservatory that I built. Well, I didn't build, my father built. I don't know why I say me. These were rescued from a hospital in Chippenham. They were on a skip, so my mother had the clever idea of putting them here. So this is all white under here. Again, I want to fill this with ferns. My mother loved ferns. This garden is sort of northeast facing. A lot of shade in it, but less shade now. So we had a lot of ferns, a lot of hostas. Me and Julie have seen better days. This bench, I bought them as a wedding anniversary present many years ago to reflect my mother's love of ferns. Over here at the bottom of the garden, this is the grotto. This is the first thing my parents built after the ponds. This is, as you can see, also falling apart. This was something my father rescued from a job he was doing. He's an architect. It was a school door, so again another job. And obviously the treehouse again is in a right odd state. The stairs are all rotten, so we can't go up there, and probably the platform is equally rotten, but inside it's all beautiful. Everything is done to the nth degree, because this is all done like a Tudor house inside. This was my attempt at the Alhambra. I dug this out in my bikini when I was about 23. So this is my, as I called it, mini Alhambra, a little rill. Now it's a sort of green old mess. So more work here, but it has lots of hostas and pots and agapanthus. Through to here, bit of a no man's land. Be nice to think of what to do with here. Yeah, typical bodge job, just shove a fence up without thinking about it. So yeah, I don't know what to do. Hopefully so much to do. Try not to think about how much there is to do. This were when my parents came here, all that was here were 2 Christmas trees here. Those 2 huge leylandii which need topping, and an apple tree which is long gone. Everything else they put in here. So the Christmas trees soon died, and my mother hated them anyway, but they kept the stumps, put a bit of wood across them, and hung a bench on ropes, just a bench, and it makes a lovely little swing seat. So we come back to the tent. Everything's electrified, and we have a little pussy. Hello, who are you? Hello, not one of mine. We have a lot of cats in the garden. Hey! I'm not going to go and stroke it because it'll run away and it'll be embarrassing. So, there we are. There's the evening sun setting behind our cottage. Our cottage is the one with the chimney on the left. That's our neighbours on the right. So, I just thought I'd log where we are now, so that when it looks all amazing, you will see the hard work me and all my friends have put into it. If anybody would like to come and help, we have a little money put aside for my mother's estate, so we can pay you to come and help. Let me know. Bye.